live pictures for you. From the French coastline, Wimereux to be precise, we saw yesterday 12 people died after the small boat that they were on, the inflatable, sank, including several children and a pregnant woman. Something like 70 people were thought to be on that boat at the time. When it sank, it has not deterred others who are desperate to cross the channel, and these live pictures do suggest that more are trying today. I'm guessing that's the French coastguard who's alongside?
It would look and appear so. We saw that inflatable just briefly earlier leaving the coastline there, so we would assume that's the French authorities. And an interesting point that's been made in the past couple of days...
It's turning round, isn't it?
It's spinning there. I don't know whether that's under control or a loss of control for that vessel at the moment.
I think probably the coastguard's saying go back. But we'll see.
We'll see. And Gerald Darmanin, the French Interior Minister, saying that dinghy yesterday having 70 people on board. It's hard to tell how many are on this, but some interesting stats. 4 times as many people on a boat in 2024 than in 2020. So there were about 13 people on a small boat on average in 2020. We're now seeing, on average, 52 per vessel. And you can see there just the number of people. We heard yesterday in that tragedy, despite 70 people on board the boat, only 8 life jackets amongst them.
Well, that's what actually the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, was saying yesterday when she immediately responded to the death of those 12 people in the Channel. She said that the gangs behind the callous trade had been cramming more and more people onto increasingly unseaworthy dinghies. And then she went on to say this is essentially exactly why their work to try and smash these gangs needs to hurry up, essentially. But, you know, for many people, it can't come quick enough when people are drowning. And, you know, so many statements from successive Home Secretaries on this with very little movement when you look at the figures.
Looking at these pictures live, obviously French time is an hour ahead. This is a very dynamic situation. We do believe that small vessel next to the dinghy is indeed the French Coast Guard, trying to convince those on board that the best thing to happen for them would be for that boat to return to land, given what happened yesterday when at least 12 people died, including a pregnant woman and several children. Frustration, desperation, realisation that they have been spotted, but the Coast Guard are doing what they can in order to try to keep these people safe and alive. I crossed the Channel quite recently, actually, in a relatively big ship. And it's, even on a quiet, calm day, it's an area where you don't really necessarily want to be. And these people are just on an overcrowded, flimsy dinghy, inflatable. They must be absolutely terrified at the moment. Can't begin to imagine how they must be feeling.